Hello and welcome back to Yoga with me. It's Brittany and I am the founder of Brittany Rose Wellness, the creator of this channel. And I wanted to create a super simple yet grounding flow. And this flow will be for stress and anxiety. I want us to get out of our thinking minds and into our feeling bodies because there's a lot of stress and anxiety in our world right now, and how that translates in our body is our bodies just get overloaded with our phones, emails, calls, work, the commute, what are we going to eat for dinner, what's for breakfast. So the stress factor in our life and the anxiety is our body saying, hey, I'm overwhelmed, I need a break, and I'm not getting it. So I'm going to release this hormone that makes us feel really anxious and stressed. And so I'm here to help you let some of that go. And like I said, get out of your mind for maybe 10 minutes or 15 and just come down into our bodies and release some of that stress, release some of that anxiety. And one fact about anxiety is fear of the future or something that may not happen. So if you find yourself in an anxious or anxiety producing situation and you're thinking of the worst outcome or what could happen, stop yourself for a moment and breathe and connect into the presence, because if you can bring yourself to the presence and let go of what could happen, you allow yourself to be open for more peace, more confidence, and more grounding in the moment we're in now. And let the future come when it comes. Don't try to control, just be present in the now. And we'll start right here sitting. You can sit easy sitting pose, half lotus, whatever you'd like, but crisscross applesauce if you're familiar with that, whatever's comfortable for you seated. If you have knee problems, you can go ahead and extend them out if you'd like. I'm going to sit an easy sitting pose, Sukhasana. And we're going to sit back a little bit so that our spine is above our sits bones. We're extending through our crown, rolling our shoulders down and back. And we're going to close our eyes and take a few deep breaths together, grounding down into this moment. And on your inhale, you want to make sure you're breathing all the air you can into that lower belly. Exhaling completely. Inhale, one big deep inhale. And exhale it all out. And on your next big inhale, we're going to inhale and have an audible exhale like this. Just let it out. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale deeply with an audible exhale. Wonderful. So now we're grounded and we're going to move into our flow, and you'll notice that there will be no standing. We're going to stay close to the ground so that we can feel grounded, because when we feel anxious, we're like up here in our minds. We don't feel safe. We don't feel grounded. So I chose to do some floor poses today so that we can feel grounded. We can feel the energy from the earth and feel connected and feel safe. And we can let some of that anxiety go. And if you'll join me, we're just going to swing our knees around. We're going to come into our first pose, which is child's pose. So we can set ourselves up in tabletop first, and then we're going to bring our toes together. We're going to do wide leg child's pose. Toes together, knees wide, and we're going to send the hips back towards the heel and bring our forehead to the ground. Take a few deep breaths here, connecting to the earth and its grounding, calming energy. while you're here, focus on doing a complete exhale. The exhale to our body is a sign to relax. So when you begin to start exhaling completely, the body feels safe and it allows that element of relaxation back into the body. Keep breathing, deep breath, sending all that deep breath into the belly. Exhaling completely. I'm going to take one more deep inhale, fill the belly up with air. Exhale completely. And we're going to slowly come back into tabletop pose. So we're going to have our shoulders over wrist, and we're going to have our hips over knees, toes in line with the knees. And you're going to have a nice neutral back in the beginning. We have our fingertips spread wide, pressing into the L of our hands, not dumping into the wrist. We're pressing into the pads of our fingers, the knuckles, making a nice strong foundation. And from here, we're going to move into cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, tilt the tailbone up, heart up, bring the belly down for cow, and exhale, round the back, bring the belly to spine, into cat. We're going to inhale, tilt that tailbone up, heart up, exhale down for cat. And take a few at your own breath. Remember the inhale up for cow, exhale for cat. Flow at your own breath. One more. Inhale up for cow. Exhale down for cat. And from here, we're going to bring those toes back together. We're going to come back down into child's pose. And breathe here. Full inhale. Full exhale. On your inhale, imagine as if you were expanding the back body and the front with your inhale, inflating your chest, your upper body to a 360. And remember to exhale completely. Two more times like that. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And we're going to inhale one more time. Exhale, audible sigh. Wonderful. You're doing so good. So now we're going to come into puppy pose. I'm going to move into puppy pose, and we're going to be, it's very similar to child's pose, but we're keeping our tailbone above the knees. So it's still up, we're not pressing back. And in puppy pose, we keep our hips above the knees and we just walk our hands out in front of us. And we can either stay up here or you can bring your forehead down to the ground. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Just be sure that it feels good. So this is a great shoulder. And again, another great grounding pose because we're close to the ground. I'm going to bring my forehead to the ground. Make sure you're actively pushing into the hands so that we are protecting our shoulders and we're keeping that activation yet still relaxing. You want to keep a slight tuck in the pelvis. You don't want to tilt too much. Keep it tucked under and breathe here. Beautiful. And go ahead and walk yourself back up to tabletop. And we're going to come down and we're going to do a low cobra. So go ahead and come down onto the belly. Bring the hands below the shoulders. Bring the elbows to your side body. And we're pressing into the pads of our fingers again. And we're just slowly going to lift our heart up. Bringing those elbows into our sides. And exhale down. Like a wave. Inhale, lift that head up into baby cobra. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift that head up. Exhale down. Beautiful. And we're going to come up, we're going to press ourselves up. And we're going to swing our knees around and we're going to come back into a seated pose. I love cobra because when you articulate the spine, it's another way to relax the body and let it know, hey, you know, it's safe to move around, and it loosens up some of that energy that gets stored there. And it's just very all around. It tones the nervous system, which again, it helps with that anxiety. So if you're ever stressed, think of how you can move your spine and maybe come back to that cobra pose or come back to some cat-cow, because once you start moving the spine, you can start releasing some of that stress that's stored in there. And we're going to take 2 spinal twists, and we're going to end with a few deep breaths. So we're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, bring that left hand to the right knee. Bring that right hand behind you. Look over your right shoulder. Sitting up nice and tall, extending to the crown of our head. We're going to inhale those arms up. Other side, right hand to that left knee, left hand behind you, gaze over that left shoulder, extending to the crown. We're going to inhale up, and then we're going to cactus the arms, give the back a nice stretch. Bring those, it's like as if you're bringing your shoulder blades down the spine, nice and slow. We'll do that one more time. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, bring those arms down. Beautiful. We're going to come back into that seated pose. Remember, sit up nice and tall. If you feel like you're kind of tilting forward, you can lift your booty meat a little bit if you have some, so that you're actually sitting on the sits bones grounded. And you can sit back a little bit into the spine and shoulders, having the spine above the sits bones, rolling the shoulders down and back, extending through the crown. Bring the eyes down, close them, come back to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling deeply. Slowly going to blink the eyes open, and I just want to thank you guys for joining me on your mat today. If you're feeling anxious or stressed, this is a great flow to do. Even if you need a little bit of release, let's say you don't feel stressed, but you just want a little bit more open space and feeling good inside your body, this is another good one too. And I want to tell you about some exciting things that are happening over at Brittany Rose Wellness and Wellness Within. So every Thursday there is a podcast. I have 4 up so far. You can check that out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. I'm everywhere. Go check out Wellness Within podcast with me, Brittany Rose Wellness, and learn about anything that has to do with wellness that's an easy to digest, way to understand. Right now I'm going through a self-love series and connecting all the things that really help us live a healthy lifestyle, and why they start with self-love. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Share this video for someone who you know deals with anxiety or stress. And I would love to, get to know you, so you can join my group, Wellness Within Support group on Facebook. And, yes, that's the other fun thing. I'll be doing a weekly intention card pull on Sunday nights, so that we can have a beautiful intention to start our Monday with. So that's really fun, and that'll happen in that Wellness Within Support group on Facebook. So again, like and subscribe, leave a review on the podcast so I know you heard it, and like or comment this video and let me know how you liked it too. Thank you so much. We can bring our hands to our chest at prayer, bring our thumbs to our third eye, and we'll bow together and say Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.